Long before rivers naturally carved their way through the earth, the American West was a flat, unbroken desert. But the pioneers moving out there faced a massive problem. A storm was brewing, a storm so impossibly huge that it threatened to drown the entire continent. They needed a drain, and there was only one man big enough for the job. Enter Paul Bunyan, the greatest lumberjack to ever walk the earth. He wasn't just a tall man. When Paul sneezed, it caused tornadoes in Kansas. When he snored, people in California thought it was an earthquake. Paul was traveling with his best friend, Babe the Blue Ox, a creature so massive that the distance between his horns was exactly 42 axe handles and a plug of chewing tobacco. Word reached Paul that the ultimate flood was coming, and the flat desert of Arizona was gonna be ground zero. He knew what he had to do. He didn't need a giant shovel. He just needed his trusty logging axe. Paul called for Babe, gripped his massive axe by the handle, and started walking south. Instead of carrying it over his shoulder, he dragged the heavy steel blade directly behind him. The axe was so unimaginably huge and heavy that as he walked it slashed deep into the solid bedrock of the earth. Sparks the size of meteors flew into the sky. With every step Paul took, the earth splintered and groaned, creating sheer cliffs that reached thousands of feet into the air. He walked for hundreds of miles, his axe carving a jagged, bottomless trench right through the heart of the desert. Just as he reached the end of his path, the sky ripped open. The great flood poured down, a deluge that would have washed away the entire West. But instead of flooding the plains, the endless water rushed directly into the massive trench Paul had just dragged his axe through. The roaring water filled the canyon, carving the stone even deeper, creating a rushing river that swallowed the storm completely. Paul Bunyan wiped the sweat from his brow, patted Babe on the nose, and kept on walking toward the sunset, leaving behind the greatest natural wonder of the world. Today we call that trench the Grand Canyon, and that rushing floodwater, that's the Colorado River. If you thought a giant carving a canyon was unbelievable, wait until you hear how a trickster spirit accidentally swallowed a river monster. Hit subscribe, and let's dive into the next legend.